Welcome to LSC. It's Sports Time. I'm your host, Bob Hintz. My guest today is Roger Bouchard, former baseball coach at Bethel High School. Welcome, Roger.
Glad to be here.
Well, I'm going to call you Roger, call you Skip, call you Boo, or whatever.
Coach Boo. Yeah, Skip.
You got a lot of nicknames. But you didn't grow up here in Hampton. You grew up in Northern Virginia. Talk a little bit about where you grew up.
Yeah, Arlington County. Back then, that was back in the 50s. And they had a sports program. I'm talking about a rec program, second to none. It was called the Arlington County Little Major League.
And why did they call it a Little Major League? What was?
Well,
did they follow?
You had two leagues, an American League and a National League, 10 teams in each league, okay? And it was set up like the major leagues. Now, of course, you had sponsors like you have today. I played for McQuinn Sporting Goods.
Now, this McQuinn guy played for the Yankees.
Oh, yeah. Now, he took over after Lou Gehrig retired, and he had a couple good years with him. Well, he had a sporting goods shop in Clarendon, and I played for him. Now, the way this whole thing is set up, it's not like today. They had 10 teams in each league. You play everybody in your league twice, and one time in the other league. That's about 28 games.
Wow.
And then you had an all-star break, and you had an all-star game, and then you had a championship game at the end. And it was a big deal. I'm telling you, hundreds of kids would try out for one team. And it was county-wide, not like different divisions.
Right.
So you had 18 kids on the team, and that was it. So it was a big deal.
And we're talking baseball here. But you played other sports when you were growing up, too. You played football when you got to junior high school. You played football.
Well, I started off late playing football. I played in the rec league and all that, but then they didn't have they didn't have baseball in junior high. But when I got into junior high in the 9th grade, I played football for the first time.
Right.
And I was a quarterback and played in the secondary.
Okay. Now, growing up there, when you had that, was a weight thing and age and all that
in the rec league. It was like a 110-pound limit or something like that, and I was in the 8th grade.
Right.
So I weighed about 110 pounds or so, and we played maybe 8 games or something like that. But it was again a good league, well organized. We had good coaching, and it was citywide. So there was a lot of talent because we didn't have a lot of teams like you have today.
Right. But now in baseball, you played infield.
Yeah, I was an infielder, shortstop, middle infielder.
And then you went to high school. Where'd you go to high school?
Now, I went to W&L High School, Washington Lee.
Right.
Outstanding program.
They had some good coaches there.
Baseball, outstanding basketball.
Well, tell me that story about why you didn't play basketball.
Well, they wouldn't let me in the gym. we won 48 straight games.
In basketball?
And in basketball, 2 state titles. And I like playing basketball. It was all right. But those guys, some of those were professional basketball players that came out of W&L.
Wow.
They won a lot of games and 2 straight state titles. They were tough.
Do you remember some of the players on that team that went on?
In basketball? Yeah, the Hummer brothers is one of them. And others, they went on to other things in life.
Right.
But I can tell you right now, one of the basketball players went to Princeton, and he was an all-state quarterback. And another basketball player also went to Princeton. He ended up number 2 assistant director to J. Edgar Hoover at the FBI. Wow. And so there were just a lot of really good players. We had a lot of athletes at W&L.
Right.
And back then it was set up different than now.
Yeah.
That was Northern Virginia, where you didn't have the multitude of schools you have now. And so
so everybody went to one school.
There were a lot of players. We had about 2,500 kids at that school.
Now you're talking something about Norwood.
Yeah. Now, Del Norwood was my baseball coach.
Okay.
Outstanding coach.
Now his son ended up kicking for.
Yeah, well, that's one story. The thing about his son, he was the kicker for the Buffalo Bills, Norwood. And he was the guy that is known for missing a couple of field goals in those Super Bowl games. But no reflection. I mean, he was a really good kicker. I think he went to James Madison. But his father, just an outstanding baseball coach. He was great. Pitched for the Senators, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
And my football coach, John Youngblood, is just an icon up there. And we won, I don't know, when I was there, 3 straight Northern Virginia titles. The year before I got there, they'd won a state championship.
Okay.
And we were undefeated our senior year, but didn't win the state title. 8-0-2. Lane High School out of Charlottesville ran the table.
Right. All right. Now, growing up during that time is a little different than what we do today, especially with the playoff system. You know, they don't have a playoff system.
Well, they didn't. They had a state championship, but it was determined by the sports writers, mainly out of the Roanoke Times. But now there's a playoff system, and so if you didn't go undefeated, you weren't even considered.
Right.
And we had a good team, and we didn't win things.
Well, you had a couple ties.
Yeah, that's right. You can't. We tied.
I mean,
we tied
you're
the first 2
undefeated,
games.
but yeah.
We tied Jeb Stewart, and can't remember who the other team was.
Right.
Yeah.
So that must have been really exciting to be in a school with that type of notoriety in the sports.
It was a great high school.
All over. I mean,
they were ranked in the top 5 academically. I didn't have a teacher that didn't have a bachelor's. Didn't have a master's degree. Some of them had doctorates. We had a great crew team. Rode on the Potomac River, won the Handling Regatta, National Schoolboy title 3 times that I was there. Oh, they were outstanding in crew. It was a big deal.
We don't even have crew down there.
We don't even have crew here.
All right, now you graduate and you're being recruited.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about that recruiting process. A little different than it is today.
Well, in football, very quickly, I was a quarterback and a safety. But my junior year, I was like the 15th quarterback. I couldn't even see the field. I mean, we had Jake Scott. We had a whole bunch of guys in front of me. Senior had a good senior year at quarterback and safety. So I was able to get a scholarship.
Right.
And I went to Frederick College on a football ride. And the recruiter was right down the street, as a matter of fact. And he said, come on to Frederick. And so they offered a full ride, and I said, I'll take it.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I went to Frederick right here. Now it's called Tidewater Community College.
Right. But some of the people that were over there when you were there.
Oh, yeah. There were some really good players. But probably what a lot of people don't know is that school put out more coaches. I mean, we must have had 20 coaches on the peninsula, but another 20 on the south side, a lot of them in Carolina. Just to name a few, Ronnie Cutler, Wade Trainum, Kaz. There was I came out of there. There was Tyrus Woodard. There was
Tyrus was at Hampton High.
Right. He was the head baseball coach there for a while. There was Bob Tyson, who coached with Mike Smith at Hampton, and did just a whole bunch of them. Some in basketball, some in baseball.
So and so your experience there evidently was good but you formed a lot of friendships that because they ended up in the same area. Yeah. You was able to continue friendship with these guys and help each other, I assume.
Well, Kaz and we played together for 4 years at Frederick. Now he was a receiver and a really good kicker.
Right.
Now Wade Trainum was also a great kicker out of Frederick. But yeah, Kaz got the job over here at Bethel High School, a new school being built.
Right.
But I was still up in Arlington until I got a call from Bob Tyson to come down and coach and teach at Pembroke High School. So I said, okay, I'll come on down there. And I talked to Ed Stella, the principal, and we were all set up. And I returned to Arlington, and when I came back, I wasn't at Pembroke.
You did?
I was at Bethel High School.
Brand new school.
Okay, so it was Kaz and I teaching and coaching.
But you had no idea.
Under Bowl and Shoop.
Right. Did you know that Kaz was over there when you came down here?
Yeah. I knew that.
Okay.
Bob had talked to me about that. He had been playing for the Norfolk Neptunes.
Right.
He had tried out for the Miami Dolphins and then started teaching and coaching here at Bethel. And he really liked it. He said it's a nice school. You're going to really enjoy your time here.
Well, and that was Bowl and Shoop's first job as a head.
That's right.
Head coach.
And they made noise right away too.
Yeah.
With no seniors on the ball club. I think they won like 7 ball games.
Well, they beat the first team they beat was Ferguson, who was ranked number 1.
And they were the team to beat, and they knocked them off.
Yeah, I remember. But it was just unbelievable. The athletes that went to Bethel High School the first years it was open.
Oh, you haven't seen a quarterback until you've seen Harrison Davis.
Yeah.
The first black quarterback to play at UVA. Man, that guy was a stud. He was about 6'3", 220, throw a bullet. He was tough. There were a lot of great athletes.
Yeah, a lot of them went through there. But I want people to understand that you went there and stayed at Bethel for 32
That's
years.
Right. The first year I was there was 1969.
Right.
And
that was the second year it was open. It opened in 68, didn't it?
Okay, second year. And I got out in 2001.
Okay.
32 years at the same school.
That's just unbelievable.
Coached baseball every year that I was there. Started off as a JV baseball coach.
Okay. Now, but you also coached football.
Yep. Coached football. As a matter of fact, first year of coaching football was with you.
Right.
You were the head JV coach, and I was an assistant with you.
And we've having a good year. Oh. And the last game of the season, we're playing Newport News.
That's right. We're playing Newport News JV team.
Right.
We're playing at Old Saunders Stadium, downtown Newport News.
We're behind. One play to play.
Yep. We got one last play at the 50-yard line. And I said,
you came up to me and said,
"Go ahead and throw a screen." They're backed off. Let's see if we can get Campbell out in open space and see if he can, maybe take it all away. Who knows?
And he did.
Sure enough, did. Eddie Tyndall was the quarterback. He dished it off. Eddie Moriarty out in front. He weaves his way. Touchdown on the last play of the game, no time on the clock. Now, this is something you don't know.
Okay.
Do you know who the head coach was of the JVs on the other side of the field?
Do not know.
Jimmy Laycock.
Are you kidding me?
Folks, Bob Hintz beat Jimmy Laycock in football.
Well, I didn't even know that. I will have to put that in my resume.
That was back in 1970.
Well, anyway, so then I took the basketball job. You took the JV job and had a great year.
Oh, yeah, the JV players. I really like coaching JVs. They were really good kids. They were really enthusiastic. Now, one year, probably one of the best teams I've ever coached was a JV team that went undefeated. I think it was 7-0, 8-0. And unscored on.
And unscored on.
Yeah, we had Jerry Holmes on that team.
Yeah, Jerry ended up with the pros.
He went to the pros. He played for the Jets. He played for the Packers. We had Greg Day on that ball club.
Greg
over at Phoebus High School for many years, got a couple of titles under his belt.
Yeah.
And we had a whole bunch of kids. We had a good quarterback. And
well, who was the quarterback?
I think it was either Bob Ely or Jack Ely, I'm not sure,
yeah,
but he was just really solid. Called his own plays. Had a lot of pride in that. But the one thing about that team that I liked the most were the special teams. We had a group of guys, maybe 13 of them, and that's all they did. They were the kickoff team, the return team, the punt return team, and they had a lot of pride. They were led by a kid by the name of Myron Costin. And that's all they did. They were really good at it. Okay, one day we're out playing a game, and I hear all this barking going on. And I ask Sam Butler, why are these guys barking all the time out here and running on and off the field like that? He said, Coach, they gave themselves a new name. They were called the Mad Dogs. And they had a lot of pride. They would run on there barking and run off barking. It was a great team to coach.
Well, talk a little bit about Ely. Here's Ely on a team that wins all the games,
yep.
Not scored on, and what happened?
You know, he didn't play any football after that. That guy was a solid quarterback.
And what was his reason?
No, he said he's not going to be able to play on any other team as good as the one he just played on. So he just stuck with basketball, and I think he played for you.
And that's unbelievable.
Yep.
Now, then you get the head job of baseball, and what, about 75, I think, is when you got it.
It was the season of baseball season of 75.
Right, and that's when Hinkle left and went up to.
He went his own way, And again, we had success on and off in the early years, but we really caught fire. We had some good teams. Now, I'll tell you, back in those days, and this is now in the 70s and early 80s, we had some great games with some great coaches.
Right.
Now, this is the truth, Bob.
Okay.
We had a game with Kickitan.
Buddy Denton coaching.
Buddy Denton was coaching, and we played at Bethel High School before daylight savings time. Now, get this. We played 18 innings. The same pitchers pitched the whole game.
All 18 innings?
All 18 innings. Now, you're saying, oh, that's child abuse. You can't have a kid do that. Both of them did it. Fishgrun for Kickitan and Ricky Pickering for Bethel. Now, you're saying, how can that happen? Well, they were throwing 3-pitch innings, 4-pitch innings, 5-pitch innings. It was incredible. Fishgrun struck out 31 Bethel Bruins. My guy struck out 23. We get to the bottom of the 18th inning. And I'm telling you, it's night. It's dark. There are no lights. There's no fences out there at that time. Fernandez behind the plate. Mel Sly on the bases. My guy, Larry Maloney, at the plate. Our shortstop. First pitch. Pow. Nobody knows what the ball is.
Oh, no.
It's in the gap in right center, and it's rolling. Larry's on his horse all the way around, scores the winning run. Home run. The place, and all the people that were there, but who were left, ran out on the field. Hey, Bethel wins. In the bottom of the 18th. Not so fast, my friend. I see Buddy walking out to Mel Sly. Mel Sly then walks onto the field and says, he fails to touch first base. He's out. What? How could he tell? He couldn't even see the base. It was so dark. And then Fernandez says, game over, darkness. No winner.
Wow.
18 innings, 54 total strikeouts.
That's just unbelievable.
It's incredible.
I remember going over there when you had the field, and I'd walk over and we're going to do an interview, we're going to do a game, and you'd say, welcome to Bruin Park. And then you changed it and said what?
Yeah, welcome to Bruin Stadium. We had another set of bleachers. And it's a big deal.
That's what made you go from park to stadium.
I had some great parents who would help me with that field. It was a beautiful field.
And it was well kept. And I remember that you had a lot of parents coming in and doing that. But talk about, some of the players that went through your system, because I know we had Blair Wood in here. Blair played for you and then came back and coached for you. Coached with you.
Yeah, I'll tell you there was one team that really kind of sticks out, a big moment in Bethel's history was we were playing Hampton High School for the district title. We're both tied, and it's the last game of the season. It's a winner take all. Now, we had a really good pitching staff. We had Kennedy Bland, Jeff Allen. We had Billy Allen behind the plate. We had Ricky Dunn over there at second base. We had Rodney Granger. Now, these guys all went on to play college baseball.
Right.
In fact, four of those guys played for North Carolina Wesleyan and won a national title. Okay, well, here we are in the 9th inning. It's the last game of the year, winner take all. Scores tied. It's like 2-2. I got the fastest guy at the plate. We're at Bethel. He hits a windswept fly ball. Trey McDonald, I think who it was. And Aaron Johnson in left field is tracking it down. It's into the gap. He lays out, puts a glove on it, and rolls over. Now, Jeff Blake is the home plate umpire. He runs out to shortstop, and I see him making the no catch call. No catch. Safe. And my guy is hauling around the bases. Fastest guy on the team. Now, Aaron Johnson gets up and he's mad. He throws the ball down and kicks it. Saw that? Old Trey, he hit third gear, wide open, coming around, picks the ball up out there in left field, realizes, hey, guy running the bases, relays it in. Now, this is what we've got. We've got my guy rounding third, going home. We've got Blake the home plate umpire, he's running back to home plate. We've got the ball coming in from the outfield, and we've got the catcher waiting. And all of them converge at the same time. Big smoke, big dust cloud blows up into the air. And I see Blake, again, mask in his hand. He's safe. He's safe. He makes 2 safe calls on the same play. We win the championship and move on into the playoffs.
Oh.
And old Jesse Sanzo, the coach, in his retro, old-time Hampton, he's toe-to-toe with Blake. He's gone chest up with him over that call.
How about that?
It was a huge.
Well, it sounds like you've got a lot of stories, but I kind of want to wrap this up now and talk a little bit about what athletics would mean and what it does for people in sports.
I'll tell you,
in
Bob,
your mind.
It's really fulfilling being a coach, really satisfying. I mean, the players have got to understand winning isn't the only thing. There's more to it than that. It's important, yes, you can learn a lot from winning, but you can also win a lot when you're not successful. See, the whole deal about this is preparation.
Right.
It's that effort to achieve excellence. That's what's important. It's what you put into it to get the best you can out of yourself. The wins and losses take care of themselves.
Right.
But if you prepare mentally, if you're a good teammate, if you listen to your coaches, and if you try the very best you can, if you have a spirit of a never die attitude, and you prepare physically, you're going to be successful, because that's what it's all about, striving for success.
Appreciate it. I want to thank you for tuning in to LSC and Sports Time. I want to thank my special guest, Skip Bouchard. I'm your host, Bob Hintz. Until next time.